I just wanted to read you something. Yeah. Some time ago, I turned around and said, you're not going to get rid of COVID-19 because basically put, you can't kill it in any heat or anything like that whatsoever. And let's adjust that. So listen to this. Yeah. Hours of sunshine and UV light. Now, this is after temperature, yeah, which we can read as well, yeah. So, this is consistent with laboratory studies that show that SARS-CoV-2 virus is highly stable outside the body at 39.2 degrees Fahrenheit, but increasingly unstable at temperatures above 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. Okay, now I said before that basically you're not going to kill this because it won't go away. Yeah, you look at all the countries that have had this, right, and the spikes, like Spain during the summer months. Listen to this. Hours of sunshine and UV light. A study in Spain found after 5 days of lockdown, the longer the hours of sunshine, the more cases there were of COVID-19. This positive association held true with a lag between sunshine hours and cases of 8 and 11 days. There was no link between the hours of sunshine before lockdown and during the first 5 days. This contradicts findings from influenza research which suggests lower transmission with longer hours of sunshine. The authors say the positive sign of sunshine may well be another instance of behavioural adaptations where compliance with lockdown orders weakens on sunny days. In contrast, there appears to be no effect of solar UV light, as the wave-light required to kill viruses and bacteria is under 280 nanometers. This type of UV light, or UVC, does not reach Earth as it is absorbed in the ozone layer. If it did reach Earth, humans would suffer severe burns to their skin and eyes within minutes. So you see why this isn't going away, don't you? That's one reason. Right, but they're turning around and saying that, you know, if we do herd immunity and everything else and so on and so forth, we can get rid of this. You're not going to get rid of it. This proves it 100%. On another note, Medway Council issued a statement. See if I can find it. I've lost it. Oh no, here we are. This is from yesterday. Yeah. Right. No, this is from March the 20th, 2020. Yesterday was another confirmed death of COVID-19 in Medway Maritime Hospital. That person, like this person, had underlying medical conditions. Yeah. Now, this is the first case since around that time that's happened in Medway Maritime Hospital. So the other day I was standing, or shall we say sitting in a queue on the mobility scooter. I know it's a saying. I was standing there. Everyone says it. It's ridiculous. Anyway, and there was a lady who worked at Medway Maritime Hospital. Now what she said is quite alarming, really, and people are probably not going to think too highly of the fact that this is what they're doing. Anyhow, a friend of mine worked at the Excel Centre when it was open for COVID-19 deaths, and they said, well, they only ever had 36 confirmed cases of COVID-19, and that's all they had the whole time it was open. So I said, well, why does it say in the paper then it was like 54, 52, 50? Well, they couldn't have been in ours because I was there the whole time and we only ever saw 36 patients. I thought, oh. So they built all that, they constructed all those beds and everything else for nothing really. But anyway, they started something called a hot and cold room. So I didn't think much more of it, you know, until 2 days ago, when this person who works for the A&E department at Medway Maritime Hospital turned round and said, oh yeah, we have a hot room. I thought, oh no, fair enough. But first she was talking about CPR and masks and everything else. And I said, fine, fair enough. I said, how does that work then? She said, well, after you've done CPR for, say, 40 minutes or whatever, you are exhausted. The oxygen levels are completely gone inside you because you're wearing the PPE. I said, so what happens then? She said, well, what you have to do, you have to take it off, and you're all allocated a room, a single room on your own, to spend 45 minutes breathing in as much oxygen as you possibly can, so you're actually back to normal powers with your body. Which disproves the point, you know what I mean? Because I've seen videos where they've sprayed stuff through some of these masks, and it goes straight through, the droplets go straight through. If I sneezed on you, you're going to catch whatever I've got. Does that make sense? Because if it doesn't make sense now, it never will. So I said, oh. I said, you're very fortunate then. I then turned around and said, like, you know, I'm mask exempt. I went there for a routine appointment for me hearing aids, to have them, you know, serviced and what have you. But they wouldn't let me in the hospital because I'm mask exempt. I have asthma. So any exertion obviously makes it harder to breathe. Obviously you've got to carry your pump with you everywhere you go. Ventolin, 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 and Q-bar in the evening. Anyhow, that's enough about me. So I said, yeah, they wouldn't let me in. She said, oh, that's ridiculous. We do, we let them in. I said, oh, that's fine. Fair enough. So you let patients in without masks in the A&E? Oh, yeah. That's all the time. What she said next really concerned me. I said, oh. I said, so what's this about a hot room? She said, well, you know, when a patient comes in and they say they've got a temperature, we send them off to the hot room. I said, oh, who are these patients? Well, they're patients who've come in with symptoms of COVID-19. I said, yeah, what about the others? You know, do you test them? No, we don't test them, they test them. Oh, they test them. So they tested them, and basically, you know, you've now got COVID-19. But if you go into this hot room, if you've got any temperature and you go into this hot room, she said, and you didn't have COVID-19 before you went in, she went, you will get it the minute you walk in that room. I thought, oh, that's not very nice, is it? So I said, well, you know, most of these people have had underlying problems. I said, couldn't you check whether that was the problem and that's the reason why they had all this? Well, no, if they come in complaining of any sort of symptoms of COVID-19, they're put in the hot room. Oh. I said, well, I ain't going back to the hospital then, if that's the case. She said, what? I said, I'm not going back to the hospital. I said, because if I turn up with a hot temperature and you're going to put me inside there with COVID-19 patients, you're instantly giving me COVID-19. I said, I've already got breathing problems. And all the other people around me, I won't say where we were, because basically, you know, these people have children and what have you. But basically then, if you go to the hospital now and you are sweating, they're going to put you in the hot room. Not only are they going to put you in the hot room, they're going to put you in the hot room with COVID-19 patients. Do you see where this is going? So when they say their numbers are increasing, or as she put it, oh, this is our little spike. So yesterday it came on the radio, oh, there's been another confirmed case of death through COVID-19 where the person had underlying other ailments at Medway Maritime Hospital. And I thought, whoa. And then I began to think to myself, hang on a sec, what if that person didn't have COVID-19 until they entered that room? So if you don't believe anything that people tell you about face masks, yeah, and about staying away from people is probably the best thing to do, yeah, and catching COVID-19, then you're off your head. You must be devoid of any brains whatsoever. Why can't people wake up to this? They're going to increase the numbers no matter what they're going to do, yeah? If you look at it, that vaccine that's going to come out, yeah, what's the one ingredient it must have? COVID-19. It has to have COVID-19 in it. Otherwise you can't get over it. You will not get rid of that. And that's why this isn't going away. Because they're increasing the numbers by putting severely ill patients who've got other ailments in with COVID-19 patients. Now, it's not rocket science to turn around and say that if you have an underlying condition and you are now deemed basically on a wanted list. That's what you are, you're on a wanted list. Yeah? If you are one of these people and you've got an underlying condition, what we are going to do is we're going to give you COVID-19, give it to you, literally give it to you by putting you in with them. So although you may have died from other conditions like bowel cancer, heart disease or whatever, yeah, on that certificate now we can put COVID-19 because we stuck you in one of our hot rooms. And that's when I said to her, I will never go back to a hospital again. Never. Are you mad? You're still going to say to me, oh, you've got a temperature, you're going to have to go and sit in the hot room now, knowing full well that I've got asthma. What is wrong with people? I mean, you look at it, the you know, the cancer thing, the Liverpool pathway. Yeah? Up in arms about this and everything else. Well, now they're going to take around and turn around and say to you, we're going to change the rules so whoever, even if it's a vet, gives you a vaccination, yeah, vets are part of this, apparently. They're going to ask vets, but then they're going to trust a vet more than they trust a doctor, believe you or not. Because the way they look after animals is 10 times better than some people look after humans. I mean, you look in care homes, the cases of being beaten and so on and so forth. So the vet said to me, you know, I'll do it. And I said, well, I'll go to the vets then for my COVID-19 vaccine. Because I trust him more than I trust anyone else. But they're going to give you, every single one of us, COVID-19. And yet people are oblivious to it. They're off their head. They don't get it. Yeah, so I said to her, well, that's it. I'm never going back to a hospital again. I don't care what I've got. I don't care. I'll die indoors. I don't care. I ain't coming to your hospital. There is no way you're going to put me in a situation where you're going to increase my liability to die sooner. If you think that for 1 minute this is wrong, look at the statistics. All of them, nearly, have died having underlying conditions. I don't want to be on that list. I want to die a happy, free man. And if you think they're going to give me a vaccine, you've got another thing coming. Anyhow, stay alert, stay alive, don't take the vaccine.